let's move to the NBA. As Luka Dončić attempts to fill the leadership void that LeBron left in LA. Luka's first big move, a 4-day team minicamp in his native Slovenia, slated for August, all on Luka's dime. The Lakers added a bevy of new players this offseason. Tone, does this minicamp make you more bullish on their upcoming season?
My short answer is no, because they don't have LeBron James anymore. Perhaps you read about that he's not there anymore. And I don't think anybody collectively that they have brought in can actually balance that out. I don't. What I think the subtext here is the Lakers are saying LeBron is now gone. This is Luka's team. All right, so we're going to have this Luka's European summer adventure. We're all going to go to Slovenia. We're going to play a little bit of golf. We're going to do a little bit of tourism. We're going to eat some good food. Luka's going to spring for all the money here. We're going to have a fabulous bonding experience. And it's Luka. It's not LeBron. We're going to have a new day and a new team. Who wants some Slovenian sausages? Now, to answer the question directly, I mean, maybe the players will be happier this year. Maybe they will be closer this year. LeBron won't be there to berate them if he ever berated them. It's Luka's deal right now, but to the answer to it, to make me more bullish on him, no.
The Lakers don't belong to LeBron James anymore. They belong to Luka Dončić. With Luka, Austin Reaves, and a completely retooled roster, Los Angeles is trying to build the NBA's next powerhouse. On paper, this team has the talent to compete with anyone in the Western Conference. The excitement around the league is real, and for the first time in years, Lakers fans are looking toward the future instead of holding on to the past. But one major weakness could destroy everything before this new era even gets started. The Lakers have officially stepped into unfamiliar territory. For the first time in years, this franchise is no longer built around LeBron James. His presence is gone, his leadership is gone. The player who carried the pressure of the entire organization has moved on. For more than half a decade, every decision, every expectation, and every championship conversation revolved around LeBron. Whether the team succeeded or failed, everything started with him. Now the spotlight belongs to Luka Dončić, and Luka is already making one thing crystal clear. This is my team now. Even before the season tips off, Luka is taking charge by organizing a 4-day Lakers minicamp in his home country of Slovenia, and he's personally covering the cost of the entire trip. This isn't just another off-season workout. It's a statement. Luka wants his teammates to experience his environment, his culture, and the mindset that helped turn him into one of the NBA's biggest stars. Spending time together away from the spotlight could build trust much faster than a normal training camp ever could.
It does not.
Yeah, no, Tony, it doesn't. Because when they tip it off at 7:30 or whatever night in October they tip it off, who's going to play defense on that team? It ain't going to be Luka and it ain't going to be Austin Reaves, and that's where we start with the Lakers. Now, yeah, the big boy they just got from Utah, he's a nice defensive player. He can rebound, but the Lakers are not a threat to me, not a threat to OKC, not a threat to San Antonio. No. And that's where you start with the Western Conference, even though Minnesota to me is worse, even though Houston is not as good, even though teams in the West other than San Antonio and OKC have taken a dive. I agree with everything you said, so I'm going to go to a quick story about Luka and the Lakers. So Luka's playing for Dallas early in his career, very early. And at one point, somebody sitting behind Luka on the front row, a Trillionaires row in then Staples Center, starts to speak Slovenian to Luka, talk a little trash. Luka's irritated. He turns around, and talking trash to him in Slovenian is Kobe Bean Bryant. How
Really?
great is that, right?
That's
Kobe,
great.
who spoke like 5 languages anyway, had decided before the game, let me do a little something to Luka. One of the trillion reasons that the league and the world and we all miss Kobe Bean Bryant. But, Luka needs to do this, Tony. I think it's a smart thing. Build the bonding out. Even if you can't defend, you can be close.
It's also a chance for the Lakers' newest players to develop chemistry before the season even begins. Instead of waiting until October, Luka is trying to create connections now, hoping that translates into better basketball when the games actually matter. The Lakers will train together, spend time together, and build the chemistry they hope can carry them through a brand new chapter. But here's the reality. Building chemistry is one thing. Replacing everything LeBron brought to the locker room is something else entirely. He wasn't just a superstar. He was the emotional leader, the communicator, and the player who kept the team together when things got difficult. Those qualities don't automatically transfer from one superstar to another. Now Luka faces the biggest challenge of his career. Can he create a true championship culture instead of simply inheriting one? Can he prove he can lead an entire organization, not just dominate with the basketball in his hands? Because nobody will care how good the Lakers looked in August. Nobody will remember how successful the minicamp was if the team falls short when the pressure reaches its highest point. They'll be judged when the playoffs begin. And that's exactly where the biggest questions start. But behind all the excitement surrounding Luka's new Lakers era, one glaring weakness refuses to go away. And it could bring everything crashing down. The Lakers can build chemistry, they can trust each other, they can become one of the closest teams in the league. But the NBA doesn't hand out championships for good vibes. It rewards the teams that execute when the pressure is highest. And that leads to one brutal question: who is going to get the stops? When the playoffs arrive, every opponent will hunt the same matchup over and over again. Luka Dončić is one of the most gifted offensive players in basketball. Austin Reaves has developed into one of the league's most reliable young guards, but neither has built a reputation as a lockdown defender. That's exactly what elite playoff teams look for. Every possession becomes a chess match, and if they find a weakness, they'll attack it until you prove you can stop it. The Lakers added more size and defensive help in the front court this offseason, hoping to protect the paint and make life easier for their guards. On paper, the roster is deeper and more balanced than it was a year ago. But adding talent doesn't automatically solve every problem. Team defense is built through communication, discipline, and consistency, and those things usually take time to develop. That's because the Western Conference has become an absolute war zone. Oklahoma City is already built to contend with one of the deepest young rosters in basketball. San Antonio keeps getting stronger behind Victor Wembanyama and an improving supporting cast. Denver still knows how to win. Houston has added more experience. Every serious contender has one goal once the playoffs begin: identify the weakest link and force that player into impossible situations. The nightmare for Los Angeles is obvious: a roster talented enough to win 50 games, but not complete enough to survive 4 brutal playoff rounds. That's the gap between a good team and a championship team. The regular season rewards talent. The postseason rewards balance, discipline, and the ability to survive when opponents spend an entire series attacking your biggest flaws. Still, Lakers fans have every reason to stay optimistic because the Luka Dončić and Austin Reaves partnership has already shown real promise. In the 41 games they shared the floor last season, Los Angeles posted an outstanding 30-11 record. Even more impressive, lineups featuring both stars produced a dominant net rating of roughly +9 to +11. Those aren't just encouraging numbers. They suggest this duo already has the foundation of a legitimate contender. The challenge now is proving that success can carry over when every possession, every mistake, and every defensive breakdown is magnified under the playoff spotlight. Those numbers reveal something important. Luka Dončić and Austin Reaves have everything needed to dominate the regular season. They can generate offense almost at will. They can control the pace. They can pile up wins and keep the Lakers near the top of the Western Conference standings. On most nights, they'll have enough firepower to outscore almost anyone. But once the playoffs begin, everything changes. Every possession matters. Every weakness gets exposed. Every mistake gets replayed over and over. And Austin Reaves is about to face the biggest test of his career. The questions haven't gone away. Critics still point to his defense. They wonder whether he can consistently stay in front of bigger, stronger players when teams relentlessly target mismatches. They also look at his outside shooting. During recent playoff appearances, Reaves' three-point efficiency dropped compared to the regular season, with his catch-and-shoot numbers falling by roughly 5 to as much as 18%, depending on the post-season sample. Those numbers don't automatically define him, but they do raise concerns because playoff basketball leaves almost no room for error. The sample size isn't massive, but playoff basketball doesn't give you endless chances. One cold shooting stretch can completely change a series. One bad week can erase months of great basketball. That's why the Lakers need the version of Reaves that looked like a rising all-star early last season. The player who attacked with confidence, knocked down big shots, and made winning plays every single night. If he can't consistently reach that level, Los Angeles could eventually face one of the biggest decisions of the Luka Dončić era. The Lakers aren't rebuilding, and they aren't planning for 5 years from now. Their goal is to compete immediately, which places enormous pressure on Luka. The front office didn't make these moves just to qualify for the playoffs. The expectation is to compete for a championship while Luka is in his prime. That makes this season far more than a race for wins. It's an evaluation of the roster, the coaching staff, and the long-term future of this partnership. Can Luka Dončić and Austin Reaves truly become the foundation of a championship contender? If the answer is yes, the Lakers have the beginning of a brand new identity led by their next superstar. They can build around this duo for years and confidently chase championships. But if the defense breaks down, if the same playoff concerns return, and if this partnership struggles against elite competition, then difficult conversations will begin. Austin Reaves could become one of the league's most valuable trade assets, not because the Lakers want to move on from him, but because teams across the NBA would line up for a player with his skill set. And if another proven star becomes available, Los Angeles may have to decide whether keeping this core together is worth passing up an opportunity to maximize Luka Doncic's championship window. The crown has officially passed from LeBron James to Luka Dončić, and now the future of the Lakers rests on Luka's shoulders. A new superstar has taken over one of the biggest franchises in sports, and with that comes expectations that very few players have ever experienced. The talent is there, the roster is stronger, the excitement around Los Angeles is growing by the day. But championships aren't won with hype alone. They're earned through consistency, sacrifice, and delivering when the pressure is at its absolute highest. Now only one question remains. Can Luka transform the Lakers into the NBA's next championship empire? Can he prove he isn't just one of the league's greatest offensive players, but also the leader capable of bringing another banner to Los Angeles? Or will the Lakers discover that replacing a legend was actually the easy part, and building a title-winning team without him is the real challenge? One thing is certain. The next chapter of Lakers basketball starts now, and every move Luka makes will be analyzed. Every victory will raise expectations even higher, and every loss will bring new questions. The spotlight has never been brighter, and the entire NBA will be watching every single step of this new era.